paralyzed man. They had to carry the paralyzed man to Jesus, and they couldn't get through the crowd. Oh, my bad. They couldn't get through the crowd, so they literally cut a hole in the roof and lowered him down to Jesus. Jesus said, "You are forgiven of your sins, and pick up your bed and go home." As a paralyzed man myself, I am humbled enough to say I am healed. Jesus doesn't need to heal me physically to be able to walk, but he has healed my heart and my soul, and I will be ever grateful for that. Thanks, bud. James 1:12, blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has appointed to those who loved him. November 16th is a reflection time for me. 15 years ago exactly to this day, I was involved in a vehicle accident, going hunting, sideswiped a pole, end over end, and got ejected out of my vehicle and broke over 20 plus bones. And the struggles, the turbulence that goes into everything. I couldn't have done it without the support and the grace of my God. I remember meeting up with Dan. It's probably a year after I started going to church here, and he said, "Are you mad at God?" I said, "No." He said, "Well, I am." And I said, "Well, that's good." So, and I said, I've been blessed, and I have had the best support system through here. My best friend, he passed away from cancer last week. It's been very hard on me. I'm struggling with it. So after my accident, I found the basketball team, and he was my very first disabled friend. He owned a prosthetic shop, and he makes legs and all that kind of stuff. And he said, "Hey, you ready to start walking again?" I said, "Well, I'm already starting on it. I've got braces coming to walk in." He said, "All right, bring them to me in a couple weeks after you get them. They'll need fixed." He wasn't wrong. He knew the other guy that was in around him as competition. He just couldn't build the legs like what Doug could. So came in and got him to stand up, and he's like, "Hey, you're walking again. Jesus heals." So Psalm 77:14, you are God that performs miracles. You display your power among the peoples. This is a long time coming. The wife, Olivia, and I, we got married in 2019, and very special person to me. And we went through our trials and tribulations, and didn't know if things would last. And I'm just putting that bluntly. I mean, it was hard times, and but no matter what, we kept fighting. And we knew that we wanted to have kids, and it was going to be difficult, just the money aspect, and just trying to get everything figured out. And I just took it to prayer, and I said, "Lord, I want this." And I just told him, or heard him say, "Go after it." And I started a small mowing business and working a full-time job, and trying to take some stress off Olivia, and we were able to get the funding and a big grant from Baby Quest. That was over half the money that we put into it, and our miracles happened. Will you bring them up, please? Psalm 127:3, behold, children are a heritage from the Lord, the fruit of the womb a reward. This right here is Maverick James, and this one is Tate Allen. They are definitely a miracle because, you know, when we were going through all the testing and all of the trials and everything that goes with it, we didn't know if this was going to be possible. And, you know, I just had in my head, you know, adoption is probably what we're looking at. And, you know, when all the tests came back, said we're good, and, you know, going through a couple rounds of IUI, and it didn't take, and the stress on her, and holding her and telling her that, you know, we're going to make it through it all. And then, you know, she was just ready to give it up. And, you know, and when we started the IVF journey and got the grant, and we have the two most blessed boys in this church, and in my opinion anyways, and the amount of prayers that went through this church on, you know, Wednesday evenings at Bible study, and just all behind the scenes. And, you know, kind of my three go-to people in this church is Chris Wright, Betsy Carmen, and Dan Butcher to me. And they were all by my side and, you know, praying every chance I got. And, you know, I look up to a lot of all y'all, but those are my three go-to people, and I'll be ever grateful for them. And they are my blessing, and thank you all.